What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Low-Key Loud and another episode of our album review series, bro. Tell them what we got from today.
We're cooking up a review of Kanye West Graduation now.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
An excuse for some of the outrage of Kanye West recently is he made Graduation. Is it valid? Is this album as good as what people say it is?
We're going to determine that today, bro. We're going to figure that out.
Today. Now, I'm very excited to do this one. This has been one of my favourite albums for a very long time. Can't wait to discuss this one. Start with our track list breakdown. So, number one. We have, in my opinion, the definitive intro track.
The intro, yeah.
We have Good Morning. What are we saying? Good morning.
Bro, it's a vibe, man. It's a happy, smiley song, and it's always going to get you in the mood, and it is a really, really good way to set the tone for graduation. It's the theme of graduation.
Honestly. It absolutely just screams graduation. And, it might not necessarily be the best song on the album or, maybe not one of Kanye West's best songs, but I think it does a perfect job in defining the tone of graduation and that sound and that vibe that graduation has that you just come back from every time.
Every single time.
Yeah, Good Morning always screams that. I feel like it would be perfect as an alarm song. You know what I mean?
Oh,
gets you straight up.
But this isn't getting me up. I'm falling straight back asleep. I'm enjoying this shit, bro. I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, Good Morning's excellent. I don't think as a song it's maybe Kanye's best intro, but it is definitely, I think, in terms of the tone it sets for the album and how it works with the rest of the songs. I think it's a better intro track. Moving on to Champion, bro. Now this is probably one of his most underrated songs, and definitely one, at least on this album, one of the most underrated songs.
Definitely, bro.
Don't see too many Champion shouts, and when it's probably one of his best rapping performances as well. You think a song that's 2 minutes 39 or something like that, it's quite short.
It is, and I think that's what I was gonna say about the song as well, is that it's personally, as well as another song, I think one of his best pieces in terms of rap performance. And one thing I've mentioned before, that I really like the fact that he incorporates the sample into his lyrics, into the song. It flows straight up in there.
I think I did.
It's you can make it out like it's a small thing, and it's like, but it's a small thing that goes a long way, and
it goes a very long way. It just flows phenomenally. The production and the sample on this is one of my favorites. And to be honest, back on just sort of the point of the length, this song is so fast paced. This song begins and then it is over.
It's true,
you're never gonna be bored with Champion. I maybe not the best song on the album, but so underrated. I never hear Champion get talked about, and this is a phenomenal track. I love Champion.
I think it's definitely a song that probably some of the newer, younger listeners could get into because of that track length. Because most songs nowadays,
it's quite an accessible track. Yeah,
most songs nowadays is 2:30 to 3 minutes long, depending what artist you're going to listen to. And I think that's, especially with the way people's brains operate nowadays, TikTok brain, it's not good, but I think that makes it very accessible for some of the younger generations.
I'd agree. And to be honest, on a similar point of accessibility, this is one of Kanye West's most streamed songs on Spotify. We have Stronger. Now, I'm going to be honest. We in discussions we always have before we get shooting, I feel like I'm kind of seeing your vision with Stronger. I really do like it.
Yeah.
But I see what you're cooking. I'll just let you elaborate a little bit first on how you feel about this album. But.
So the point I always make with the song is I appreciate that it's a good sample and it's a huge song, one of his most popular. Fine, you guys can have the song, but for me, I just feel like the sample is super duper corny and cringy, and I don't know, I find it not hard to listen to, but it's just not hard to listen to, especially because he does really well with it. He performs perfectly. It
does go really hard, to be fair.
He's probably one of the only people that could do something like this as well he does with the sample. It
was very unique. No one had done anything like it before. But
I just find it hard to listen to.
I feel like the thing is with Stronger is I feel like it is one that people do think it's overrated, and it's been overrated for so long that it's not really overrated anymore. And I think it's one that I'm always apprehensive to listen to. I listen to it and I just enjoy it. And I feel like generally with songs that would be on the high end of the spectrum, you would enjoy it while listening to it and you'd want to go back.
Yeah.
So there's always something. But I don't really know where to place Stronger. It's a bit of a strange one. I'm thinking sort of more middle of the pack on this album, because I'm not going to say Stronger's bad at all. It does go very hard, and I think some of the hate it's got in recent years has sort of softened everyone's opinions on it. Really? Definitely has for me. But I know Wonder, I'm always going to be a bit soft for, bro. I wonder. No, this just, yeah.
This brings tears to your eye, right?
What is a very fast-paced, aggressive, upbeat start to the album. I wonder really does get you all in your feels, you know.
Bro, I'll be sat there crying in the corner thinking
I know.
about it. I'll be like, I wanted to, man.
Firstly, let's just talk about the sample. The vocals, I can't remember the guy's name, but the vocals are absolutely phenomenal.
It's
on the I
beautiful.
Wonder bit. Honestly, it's so beautiful. Kanye on it has a great performance, and then there's the beat switch at the end, and that final verse, it
sounds like a masterpiece.
it does sound like a masterpiece. And, you know, while he was very big at this point, in 2007, you do kind of get the vibe that he was still on the up. And actually, I just realised, I think at the time of filming, it is 18 years today graduation was released.
Is it actually?
I'm sure it is.
Bro, that's so crazy.
Nice little coincidence that I'm sure it's today.
That's big pox, bro. Crazy.
So, yeah, you know, I feel like it does sort of mark that when you look at his future success and the fame obviously go on to have. I absolutely adore I Wonder.
I mean, it's a perfect example of what Kanye does, taking a really, really good sample which nobody else would expect to be able to make a song out of, and just turning it into a masterpiece of production, right?
I know, and you know, if you think about the songs we've just discussed, put them into another rap album, they're not traditional rap songs,
no.
but they work. And this is the just beauty of Graduation. It's so unique. It has such a unique sound, and it's just so exclusive to Graduation, and it's so replayable. And to be honest, we always seem to get this perfect. We're moving on to one of the most replayable songs on the album now. We have Good Life featuring T-Pain. Now, I think sometimes when songs get a bit poppy with it, they can sometimes lose a bit of their appeal, but I'm not going to lie, Good Life slaps.
Bro,
I'm going to let you carry on with this one, because I know this is
my personal favorite from the album. I'm going to spoil it now. This is an amazing song. I love everything about it. It's like a party in your brain, bro. Like everything about this, from T-Pain's vocals to
he brings it with the vocals.
It's crazy, and I can't even tell you what it is about it that I like, but it's just, it's such a
if you want to
beautifully
break it
positive
down, the
song.
hook is absolutely phenomenal. I think the vibe of Good Life, man, you never got me miserable listening to Good Life.
And it's also like the way they work off each other as well. It's like there's no like one time where it's just like Kanye and then T-Pain. It's like they bounce off each other.
They're a phenomenal pair, and it is beautiful. A phenomenal track. Now, leading up to the halfway point, we're nearly there, we have Can't Tell Me Nothing. Now, this is a reasonably, I would say, well-known song, you know, digging a little bit into Kanye's sort of ego and arrogance, but to be honest, it goes outrageously hard. You know, lyrically, it's very, very strong. You know, you've got a lot of messages about, you know, freedom of speech and not letting yourself get silenced. But first and foremost, this thing just slaps, man. I'm not gonna lie. The instrumental on this as well, and the production is absolutely phenomenal.
This is what he does on Graduation. It's like every song is recognizable because of how well he creates the sound and the instrumental to it.
It's the overall package of this guy, isn't it? It's the sound. It's the end product.
It really is, and I think what I like about this song the most is that it's such. I can't think of another song which sounds so full but so empty at the same time. Like this sound, I can't.
I know, it's
crazy.
This
it's
is
weird,
the thing. When you start
nice.
sometimes trying to analyze these, you get a bit confused. But when you think about the end product that's put on the plate, it's just
gorgeous, man.
It's so unique, man. And there's nowhere else other than Graduation you're gonna get sounds like this. Now, approaching where we are at the halfway point now, we have Barry Bonds featuring Lil Wayne, one of the more hated songs on the album and in his discography. And I don't think it's anywhere near the higher end. I'm a bit of a Barry Bonds defender. I want to know what you guys think, but I personally don't think it's that bad.
I would agree with that. I just think that it's unfortunate that Lil Wayne had a bit of a weak verse on here.
Yeah,
it does kind of drag
Lil
it down.
Wayne is always so consistent as well.
And I also think that the instrumental on here is just a bit monotone. Like you might compare it to some more recent songs where there's not much liveliness to it, especially compared to the rest of the album. I just don't think it fits in as much.
I think, you know, I tell you what, I actually quite like the instrumental. But one thing I noticed with Barry Bonds is when I was listening to it for the first time, I feel like after he says Barry Bonds, I'm like expecting him to say something, it's just quiet for a bit.
The whole thing screams imperfect cadence. It's such a weird sounding song.
It is weird, and I think it's a bit strange. But I think once you listen to it a few times and you've got what I thought was going to happen, I actually do quite like Barry.
So you just
Bonds.
think it's one of those songs that you just have to let it mull over and
maybe I think it definitely was for me, and I don't think Lil Wayne's verse is even horrible. I just think this is just a fine song.
It's just a bit weak.
I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't even put it bad. You know, I'd put it as a C tier. It's just a good piece of music, and that's it. I wouldn't ever praise it more than that. But I can enjoy Barry Bonds, and you know what? Because I don't listen to it that much, it's always nice when I do because it's not overplayed. So I'm a bit of a Barry Bonds defender, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, I'm the same way because, I mean, it's definitely not at the bottom for me, but I'll tell you what is at the bottom for me.
I love that. Drunken Hot Girls, man. Now, listen, you got Kanye West and Mos Def on a track. And that should, I mean, for all my guys that know 2 words on the College Dropout, that's one of the best songs on the album. And here we have an absolute abomination of music. I will never listen to Drunken Hot Girls again. Yes, it is as bad as everyone says. I think we can all agree.
It kind of gives me sort of like, I don't know, like NF21 Pilot sort of vibes.
I just don't like it. I don't want to listen to it, man.
I feel the energy being sucked out of me.
I don't want to listen to it.
It's bad.
Honestly, I really don't want to listen to it. We're moving on now. Thankfully, an album with this much quality is only impeded by that, because next we have Flashing Lights. Oh, yeah, that reaction right there. That is Flashing Lights. That's Flashing Lights, man. Bliss. It's luxury. It's just perfect.
It's just it's a glorious
the more I think about Flashing Lights, I'm just like, wow. It's just so impressive.
Too much. The more, wow.
It's just so impressive.
It's a beautiful beat. It's
best instrumental on the album. Yes, no, surely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't. You can't.
There's a couple of close ones that I enjoy. I quite like Can't Tell Me Nothing. I quite like one of the songs we're going to talk about later. But I just think this is in terms of his production on a song, it could be his best ever.
Yeah, but I mean, this song just injects you with confidence, bro. Like, this is such an atmospheric, crazy sounding beat, and I always get a picture, like I said to you before, like always a picture of just like driving this like crazy expensive car through the streets of New York at nighttime. It's raining and you just like,
it's just perfect.
You're just him, bro.
Everything about this is perfect. The vibe he's describing lyrically, I think the hook on it is absolute bliss as well. Man. Everything about this song, 10 out of 10 piece of music.
Glazing definitely glazing, bro.
Yeah, definitely deserves a glaze. One of Kanye West's best songs. One of my favorite songs. I absolutely love Flashing Lights. Next up, which to be honest, probably is a bit of an underrated track. We have Everything I Am, featuring DJ Premier. Now,
you think it's underrated?
I think it is underrated. I don't see a lot of Everything I Am shouts. I don't think anyone calls it bad.
No.
Let me know, guys, know in the comments what you think of Everything I Am. But I think the instrumental on this in particular, sometimes when we were giving this album a run through together before the review, and you get to it and it just hits. It just gets it, especially after Flashing Lights as well. Yeah, it's hard to follow an instrumental like that, and it does.
It absolutely
really does. Phenomenal.
It's unfortunate that it sort of gets lost in the middle of the album in some way.
Yeah,
that's just what Graduation does.
Right? I feel like generally with songs you can sort of like, with this you're like, oh yeah, 1 to 6 on this are perfect, and they are. But once you start getting that far down, you're always going to have a dud somewhere, so it kind of breaks it up. But I do think Everything I Am is genuinely phenomenal. I think it's just perfect. I think this is one of his best. Sorry, well, you know how I mentioned that there was another song which was, in my opinion, one of his best songs on this album lyrically. I think this is the other one, because I think this is something that can really speak to everybody. I mean, even the main hook, like everything I'm not, maybe everything I am, right? It's so true, and this is something that I think so many people could do with understanding. Yeah, he's explaining how he's not like other rappers and all that difference that originally might have people thought he weren't going to do well. He went and did it, and
somebody who's used his mistakes to create a better version of himself, which everybody can do, and it's so true.
Lyrical masterpiece, instrumental's phenomenal, arguably because of all that more underrated than Barry Bonds, because what an amazing track. And then next up, to be honest, we're on a bit of an underrated one. We've got The Glory. Now, look, I'm never going to sit here and tell you The Glory is the best song on Graduation, but what a vibe at the start, man.
It's pretty, man. It's a very beautiful, beautiful song. I mean, again, like I say, it's another one of those songs which unfortunately gets lost in the middle of the album. But again, beautiful instrumental. Rap performance is pretty decent too.
The beginning of this vocally is absolutely just bliss, and it's just perfect. I do think this is one that, as you get into the song a little bit, it does sort of peter off, but I do think it's very, very strong, and I've always liked The Glory. I've always had a bit of a soft spot for it.
Definitely.
Now, number 12, we have Homecoming featuring Chris Martin. Now, I'm just gonna say, this is not one we're going to agree on whatsoever. I absolutely adore Homecoming. I do like Chris Martin. I do quite like Coldplay, which I know as a hip hop fan is a bit of a bold move.
It's good to have a wide taste.
But I do quite like, and I just think he goes phenomenally on this. I think the instrumental is just amazing. This is what I was thinking of, sort of on that, just behind Flashing Lights. I think the rapping performance and the storytelling on this is absolutely phenomenal. I absolutely adore Homecoming, and I just want to let you go for it. And
now I'm going to rip it to shreds. Yep. So, I mean, all I'm going to say is I get the exact same sort of vibe from Stronger, is that the instrumental is just kind of cringy to me, and it's a bit
Instrumental's
corny.
cringy.
It is like the whole thing is.
Instrumental's amazing.
It's like I'm watching like a play or something like that. Like
the
a
piano, man. It's so
I know,
good.
but I'm not a huge fan of Chris Martin. Like I don't listen to him that much, but I don't know. If I can appreciate that it's a different time. He was more popular. Music just was different back then. But again, I can't.
This was a bold move putting Chris Martin on a rap song.
It was, but I mean,
it worked.
I can't say that it didn't work because it did. But again, just not for me, not my taste.
You. I personally am a huge fan of Homecoming. I think this is one of the better tracks on the album. Next up, we have Big Brother. We're about to come to a close now on the track list breakdown. Now, Big Brother, again, I just think there's so many weird, underrated ones that sort of get left out on this because, lyrically, this is kind of the contender to Everything I Am, I think, in terms of the, sort of the, how do I put this? Acumen. There we go. No Kanye is trying to show here, about, it is a beautiful song for someone like Jay-Z who helped Kanye West a lot in the early days of his career. If I just can't imagine, bro, having someone write a song like this for me, to be honest.
Bro,
but
you'd be in tears.
Yeah, instrumentally it's great. Lyrically it's great. It's quite a bit of a slow burner, but it depends. You just got to be in the mood for it, is the only thing.
Yeah.
I can listen to Flashing Lights anytime. I can't listen to Big Brother anything. That's the only difference. It's not a bad song at all.
Definitely.
It's just more situational, and that's the only thing.
I think this song, I mean, the instrumental is a bit, not weak, but it's just like, compared to what we had beforehand, it's not the same. But lyrics and the actual concept of the song, beautiful. You can't not appreciate that.
Yeah,
right?
I think compared to the rest of the album, you can't really put it up there instrumentally. Lyrically, it's a masterpiece, and then as a rapping performance, it's great. So I just think the only thing is just because of the tone of it and the vibe of it, you kind of can't sit there listening to Big Brother all the time. That's the only thing. You
definitely have to be in a certain mood to listen to it.
So the finale to this album, which we have Good Night. Now, as a finale to an album like Graduation, it's a little bit lackluster.
It should have been something different, I think. Hear me out. Everything I Am is the finale. What do you think?
That would. I mean, I don't know. The problem is starting an album with Good Morning, you have to end it with Good Night. That's
true.
Now, I think instrumentally, there's nothing special. There's nothing bad. Rapping performance is quite strong. Decent flow on it. The hook is quite bad though.
It's a bit tough to listen to. I'll be honest.
I don't like the hook on this song, and I don't like the vibe of this song, to be honest. It's definitely my least listened to on the album. Yeah. By the time I get to the end, I've just had Flashing Lights, Everything I Am, The Glory.
I've gotten what I wanted. I
don't want to listen to Good Night. I'm not going to say it's a bad song. I think there's only one categorically bad song on the album, and I think the rest are all either okay or up to excellent. Good Night's never ever hit it with me, and I've been listening to this album for a long time, and I've never gone on with it, and I don't even think the rapping's that bad on it. I think Kanye's pretty strong on it, but I got nothing else to say, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. I mean, the only thing I will sort of not necessarily disagree with you, but a point I'll make is that with the instrumental, I feel like it's a bit of a foreshadow of future rap instrumentals. Like it's quite futuristic in a way. Like if you compare some modern rap instrumentals to it, you can hear similarities there. But otherwise, the rapping's like not like mid. It's cool.
I think it's pretty strong, but to be honest, I just overall, Good Night is never gonna cut it for me.
It's never gonna be above the rest of it, right?
So tracklist breakdown overall, I think we're feeling pretty strong on this album.
Definitely. So
far, just before we dive a little bit deeper into our sort of top and bottom three, as we always do, how many skips have we got on this album?
I want to say 2. I want to say Drunken Hot Girls, and I'm also gonna say Good Night. I think.
Okay. I would agree. Although Good Night is
it's not necessarily
situational.
A skip, it's just that
sometimes I'm gonna not bother. Sometimes I will. Drunken Heart Girls I will never listen to. That's the difference. So I will say 2 because I think most of the time I'll skip Good Night, but definitely not as harsh of a skip as it is for Drunken Heart Girls because that is a joke. So bottom 3 on the album, I'm sure we can all agree. Last place, Drunken Heart Girls.
Drunken Heart Girls.
No, wrong end.
Yeah, and then I think that's probably closely followed by Good Night as well, right?
I think we're both in complete agreement, and now this is where things are going to take a dive off a cliff because I'm really frightened what you're going to do with the third from bottom.
I think you know what I'm going to do with this second.
I'd like to have enough faith in you to know that you wouldn't put one of the 2 I'm thinking you might.
Here's the thing, right? The only reason that Homecoming isn't a skip for me is because I know in my brain that it's a well-made song. So that's the only reason, because we got 2 skips so far in the bottom 3, right? But I'm gonna have to put Homecoming in the bottom 3.
You mean Homecoming in the bottom 3?
I actually am, because
I was so scared you were gonna do that.
I would rather listen to Barry Bonds. I would rather listen to what's the other song?
I think the sentence "I would rather listen to Barry Bonds over Homecoming" has never been said by a human being before.
Listen,
Barry Bonds over Homecoming.
People are gonna agree with me. They're gonna come out of the trenches and they're gonna agree with me, bro. Because
2 people are gonna come pull you out of the hood.
if it's 2 people, I mean, those people are writing out for it, bro.
Can we just slaughter this guy for putting Homecoming bottom
Slaughter
3?
me. I don't even
Thank
care.
you very
it's cringy,
much,
bro. I don't even say.
Yeah, Barry Bonds bottom 3 for me. You know, it's a shame, but it just is. You know, when I think about I can't think about what's bottom. I have to think that what wouldn't make the top and think how far it gets pushed down. Like The Glory, Big Brother, and Stronger, I guess, are probably in that area. None of them are they're better than Barry Bonds, and that's it for me. You know, Barry Bonds is like I say, it's a C tier song. Nothing awful about it. Yep. It just doesn't hit as hard as the other ones. Plain simple.
That's fair, man. But we're gonna move into the top 3, bro. So what is at your number 3 spot?
Number 3, I'm gonna go Homecoming. So I've flipped these 3 around quite a lot. I just think. I just absolutely love Homecoming. The instrumental on this is phenomenal. Kanye's storytelling and rapping is out of this world. And Chris Martin's hook is phenomenal. 10 out of 10 song. No complaints. Absolutely adore Homecoming.
Some bullshit. So I think my number 3 is going to be Champion, bro.
I love seeing Champion that high. I love it. Because
it's definitely underrated.
It's so underrated.
I think like I said to you, like the sample usage and bonding between his lyrics it hits me.
It's one of my personal favorites when I want to look at a rapping performance from Kanye West. I think maybe other than No More Parties in LA, it's arguably his best. There might be 1 or 2 others that I've missed.
Champion or No Parties?
No More Parties. No More Parties is obviously better.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just trying to think of some in that conversation that might be better. You know, you've got Champion. You've probably got a couple others from College Dropout. But
yep.
So number 2, I'm gonna go Flashing Lights.
I'm gonna have to agree with you, bro. Yeah, for sure.
This has been a largely similar list. Okay, so
this is gonna be like super boring for everybody, but like this is gonna be everybody's opinion apart from Homecoming.
I don't know Homecoming, but yeah, Flashing Lights. I mean, just an absolute masterpiece. I think the only I know what yours is gonna be, and you know what mine's gonna be, and it's solely down to just personal relationship with the song.
Well, this is the thing. Like, if you took away like personal, like if you just had to rank these and what you think everybody's gonna rank,
feel like
Flashing Lights is gonna be at the top.
I think Flashing Lights is the most objectively well-made piece of music on this album.
Yep.
And personally, I absolutely adore Flashing Lights.
Yep.
I actually cannot. I think we're gonna put it on after this, to be honest.
We're gonna have to bang it out. Yeah.
Just what a perfect song.
But what are you putting at number 1, bro?
I'm putting Can't Tell Me Nothing.
Okay. I can definitely. I can agree with that. That's definitely a really number 1 contender.
Let's say yours first, and then we'll discuss.
Bro, mine's Good Life, of course. It's gonna be Good Life, right?
Okay.
Like I said.
Yeah. What a song, man. Good Life. Just yeah.
It's so positive and bubbly, and I think it's
positive, man.
It gives a lot of graduation to me as well. That's if I think of a graduation, obviously I'm going to think of Morning, but then Good Life is straight away after that, because I can just imagine the album cover coming to life playing this song. You know what I mean?
That is a great point. Along with Good Morning, I think I can see that. I feel like it sort of reflects maybe me and you a little bit too well, because I feel like Good Life is a really upbeat type of positive. I feel like Can't Tell Me Nothing's a bit of a darker type of positive. I still feel good after it. I still feel ready, but it's just a little bit different. Yeah, I Can't Tell Me Nothing. It's just special to me. And I just I'll bot Can't Tell Me Nothing, and I'm just
you're there, man. You're ready for anything.
I'm good. Yeah,
real man.
Absolutely adore Can't Tell Me Nothing. So, overall album review, overall ranking out of 10. Where are we putting this? Where's Graduation going?
For me personally, I'm gonna give it a solid 9, bro.
Solid 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 as well.
Yeah.
I think giving it a 10 when we gave Good Kid, Mad City a 10 would be a bit disrespectful to Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that doesn't have Drunken Hot Girls.
That's what I was gonna say, bro.
That doesn't have Drunken Hot Girls on it, and this does, and we cannot. We can't give it a 10 without it.
It's just not feasible. That doesn't mean to say that, like, if you remove that, this isn't a 10 out of 10 album. Like,
I'd probably argue it is, to be honest.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, like, for most people would say this is a 10 out of 10 album. Like,
I feel like off your head it is. When we've sort of broke it down a little bit, maybe not.
Yeah.
I think the one thing to consider is the tone of the album. I think Graduation as a sound is the most unique sound, at least in Kanye's discography.
Consistent. Yeah.
You know, I feel like you go to any song in this and it fucking radiates Graduation. And I don't think any other album I've ever listened to across any artist has radiated the tone of that album better than Graduation.
There's not a lot of albums which has an era. Like back when this was released, this was an era. Like you combine this with like Babe and the Takashi Murakami, the artist of this album cover. Everybody was on Graduation. He was popping everywhere. It was huge, bro. This was an era.
It was massive. I mean, even today, you know, like I say, 18 years on, as of this day, it's still considered one of his best albums. I just think, you know, I wouldn't even say Graduation is my favorite album of all time, but there's never gonna be an album, I don't think, that has such a consistent tone and screams a particular feel and tone as much as Graduation does. Definitely, and I will always respect it for 100%. That. So that is our thoughts. I want to know what you know of this guy putting Homecoming bottom 3. I want you to know about all of our opinions. Let us know down below.
We want to know, guys. Let us know, bro.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
Peace.
Bye bye.